All right. Back at it once again through the Spirit. And we want to say all praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Pakwadash, double honor to our apostles, our elders of the millstone, and salutations to the Akbar pushing the word, and also sitting honest to the hopeful elect, Shalom. Through the Spirit, you know, we back at it. There's a lot going on, and Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying. So, you got it.
All right. This is Habakkuk 2:6. Shall all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
And that's Esau. All right, that's the so-called white man. Okay, mainly dealing with America. All right, because America was given the control. All right, and he basically, that's what he did, man. He took things that didn't belong to him. That's how he built. That's how this nation was built up. All right, chiefly starting with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, who are the true Israelites according to the Bible. He took our land, our nationality. All right, but then all these other nations too. All right, you've been terrorizing all these different nations, the whole earth. Right.
All right.
Read it again,
Okay. Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him,
right, they're going to give a parable against you, right?
and a taunting proverb against him,
Mm-hmm.
and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Right, so in other words, you see that now, these nations starting to call you out for your wickedness. You know? These nations starting to pick sides, they calling you out. Basically, they see America is losing power. Alright, financially, military, alright, it's losing stability. Alright.
All right.
That was it?
No. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Right. How long? And to him that laid himself with thick clay. What's the
Abatia.
yeah, yep. And when you go into that word clay, ibatya, I believe, it means debt. You know, and America is in crazy debt, man. You know, what's the debt rate? The debt rate?
That clock.
Not the debt clock. It's in debt. You know, what's that with the debt ceiling?
What was the reason, the death ceiling?
Yeah,
Like how much?
yeah.
And that, I just know it's in like over 20 something trillion.
It's like over 30 trillion.
Oh, over trillion, over 30 then. Okay.
And then it's in debt with other countries also. You know, like China is one of them. You know, but yeah, man, how long will you be in debt, man? You know, that goes to show you that this place is out of here.
Yep, and then we got inflation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also with inflation, you have shortages of goods. You know, due to Esau trying to share famine. And going back to the inflation, you know, you got the Federal Reserve printing out more and more money. You know, and all that does is devaluate the dollar.
Yep.
And then you got the infrastructure here in this country. It is messed up. That's why the scriptures say we would have held Babylon. Well, Babylon, America's not going to be held. I have something else. This is Isaiah 14:11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Yeah, that's your pride, the so-called white man's pride, and he controls Babylon the Great, which is America. These people are proud here. That thy pomp is brought down to the grave, in the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee. That worm is corrosion, because everything here is rotted out. That's why they have to rebuild the infrastructure, the highways. That's the arteries of this country. You know, that's like that's the arteries of this country. You know, a flow of arteries that transport blood and things like that. But the arteries and highways and truckers, everything that has to move through this place. And also the infrastructure's messed up. They constantly gotta redo the bridges, the buildings.
Renovate everything.
Yeah, renovations, and it's so much repairs that need to be done. All right. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Yeah. So it's this place is. When they say they're gonna rebuild, they always say they're gonna rebuild, but the Most High gonna throw down.
Yeah, it's decaying.
It's decaying. Yeah, cunning. Yeah.
I got a precept.
Mm-hmm.
Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. You know? And you want to bring it? Okay. You know, the word woe, it means destruction or lamentation. And we know that this is talking about the nation of Edom, the descendants of Esau. All right, they call themselves today, they call themselves white people. You know, they call themselves Caucasians. They call themselves the small hats, the big nose people. You know, the J word.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's talking about that nation. All right, which is known as the wicked in the Bible. Okay, they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, and they devise iniquity. Okay, a lot of things that they do, a lot of these events that take place in this society be psyops, psychological operations, be inside jobs. All right, you know, and we know we have evidence to back up those claims. You know, what's been going on recently is they trying to starve the American people out. You know, by destroying food processing plants. All right, by giving the farmers hell. You know, passing these unrighteous decrees for the farmers. You know, giving them issues.
Destroying cattle.
Yeah, destroying cattle. Like, you know, there was a video of what was it? I think it was a bunch of cows. They said that died in the heat wave.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
which we know that's bullshit.
Yeah. So I don't mean to cut you off, brother.
That's all right.
That's why they do these things to cause what's that word? Scarcity. Make things scarce. Meaning that they reduce the supply.
That's right. And that's what they're doing because they wanna do that auto abkeo, so that when they don't have no resistance when it comes to them orchestrating that new world order. All right. It says when the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand. Yeah. You know, Esau, the scriptures say they don't sleep unless they do wickedness. You know? So Esau, you know, he can't help himself, but he just gotta do wickedness every day. You know, beginning with the elites. Okay? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, them elite families of Esau.
Another thing they also do right now is dealing with those shootings, man.
Oh yeah.
Alright, those mass shootings. They had the dude there's a sniper. They had the dude that shot the market, shot the schools. And what's gonna come down to is they don't take away those guns. Alright? Now that they recently said, I think it's in New York, if you want a gun, if you want a gun, you have to have like a clean record, you know, something like this. So they're making it harder and harder for you.
They got all the business through the city.
Yeah, okay, see? So they're making it harder and harder for you to own a gun. What they really want to say is you're taking the guns away. You know, so when they do say it, it's gonna look as if they're right for saying what they're saying, but it's all part of their whole agenda.
And then I heard some brothers mentioning a lot of police are quitting.
Yeah.
All right, now
Detectives.
I remember brothers watch Cocaine Cowboys. when it was like it wasn't enough police to police, so they started recruiting, and then it went to like people. A lot of people didn't have clean records, so it was like, well, if you wasn't in trouble within 12 years, then it went to 10, then it went to 5 years, then it went to a couple of months. Then it said, if you're not actively, right, as this moment committing crimes, they was recruiting. And what this caused? More corruption.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's, well, it seems like it's strategic.
And that's another word that comes to mind when you said that is gradualism, which is something that Esau loved to build. It's one of his schemes. All right. Okay. First, you can't do this because of this. All right. Now, if you do it, you're gonna need this, and eventually you're gonna say, no, you can't do it at all.
Right.
Yeah, I know what's going on, right?
Kind. It says verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence. You know, they covet fields, man. Covet means to desire something that's not yours. You know, because that's what Esau do: rape, rob, and murder. All right, that's their you know, that's their MO. That's their heritage. That's what they do.
Yeah. That's how America came about.
Yep. It says, and take them by violence, like the brother said. That's how they got America. You know, through what? Taking it by violence, by coveting America, which it wasn't called America at that time. All right, but they took over America by violence. All right, by slaughtering the tribe of Gad, Reuben, and Issachar. All right, as well as what they did all around the four corners of the earth, and what they're still doing now. What they're trying to do in the Middle East with nations such as Syria, Afghanistan, Iran, and so forth and so on. Okay? And it says what? And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's what the so-called white man do. He takes away lands by his unrighteous decrees, by his evil policies. All right? And it said, and a man in his heritage. They even take away everything you got, including you and your heritage, man. All right? And they actually did that. They did that to us. All right? That's why the scriptures talk about the children of Israel going into captivity and falling away. All right? Discontinuing from their heritage. All right? The so-called white man, the Most High, set this devil up to do that, man. That was it.
I got something. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. I'm gonna read that again. Yeah. Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. That's the so-called white man with his laws. Woe, destruction unto him that decree unrighteous decrees. This legislation, and he passed that legislation, and he has it put into law. Okay, so that's what the so-called white man does. So with his legislation, his laws, his grievousness,
Yeah.
causes misfortune. And at first and foremost, it hurts the nation of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes or Latinos and Americans. It hurts us first. The tax codes, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
them fees, them tickets.
Yeah.
That hurts the nation of Israel, because Esau, all these other nations, they predominantly prospering, so that's nothing. So that's not even a slap on the wrist to them. They'll laugh at that, but it hurts the nation of Israel.
Yeah,
No?
and
I'm sorry.
also add on, his laws, they don't follow the laws that's commenced in the Bible, man. It's totally the total opposite, man. All right, because the scriptures represent light, Esau represents darkness. So it's total opposite to what he said, to what the scriptures is saying.
Piece of you.
All right.
Luke chapter 16, verse 8. And the Lord commanded the unjust stewards because he was unwisely. For the children of this world in this generation is wiser than the children of light. Again,
Yeah, you got it, man. Break it down, brother.
it says, the Lord commanded the unjust steward because he done wisely. He said, for the children of this world, who's the children of this world? Edomites, they on top. They the children of the wicked. They are in their generation wiser. It says in their generation wiser than the children of light. We are the children of light, so we're wiser than us. The Most High put them up against us. So the so-called white men, they know everything. The Most High will destroy them. They the one that set up all these mass shootings. They the one that set up the recession. They the one that all people fight against each other. That's
Yeah,
all.
they-
That's
Because this is all it's really a giant game, this system. And they win in the game. They set the rules to the game. They break the rules and they make new ones. You know, they controlling the board as of for a short time. You know.
Yeah, man. The steward, that's an important job, man. All right, when you go into the blue letter. Right. Now I'm looking at that blue letter for the verse you just wrote down. The word it's Strong's G3623, and it says oikonomos. All right, and it says definition. It says a house distributor or overseer, an employee in that capacity. By extensions, a fiscal agent, furtively a preacher, chamberlain, governor, steward, and Esau's put in that position as a steward, you know, basically because this is his rulership, you know, this is his kingdom. He is the judge, all right, and what does he do with his position? He does wickedness. That's all I have for that one.
I got something. This is. I'll get this one next. This is Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Yeah, the heathen, these nations outside of the nation of Israel. And the people imagine a vain thing because they believe they're next in line in rulership, all right, after the so-called white man, because they all in a race to bring about this new world order. They all on board with a new world order, but these heathens, they want to be next up in line on world domination.
Yeah.
Well, you have Edomite supremacy, so-called white supremacy. Well, they want to be the next that's controlling the board. You know, and it's a vain thing, it's unprofitable because the Lord is going to disrupt their plans. All right?
And you know, proves that BRIC. You know that BRIC or organization.
Brexit?
BRICS.
The BRICS. Okay.
It's that's the nations Brazil, Russia,
South Africa.
India,
China,
China, South Africa, yeah. And they basically,
and they got 2 new members.
yep.
Argentina and all that.
Right, exactly. And they basically don't need America for nothing. You know, so amongst that that organization, you have nations. You know, there ain't no real leader. Like how you know NATO is the leader. Of NATO is America. Ain't no real leader of BRICS like that. But you got out of those nations, you got China and Russia that's looking to really get ahead, man. That's those nations raging, man. That's why China's in Africa just keep doing what the hell they want. They done took Africa over, and here there's America, you really can't do shit about it. You know, Russia's invading Ukraine. America can't do shit about it, man. You know, and basically all this turmoil, and usually America would have to say so, like, yo, y'all gotta cut this out right now. You know, but that's dead, man. That shit is dead. So now these nations, they really see blood. You know, so now they're really trying to get into that power seat.
I got a precept.
Yes, a little more. I can keep going. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. Yeah, they always making and having a secret council. And if there's a Jake puppet there, they're not for Jake, but they have them secret meetings because why? For their domination, because the nation of Israel don't benefit off of that. You know what I mean? That's how you know they. All right, they together, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord. So they're against the Lord and the Lord's own people, mainly the elect, and against His anointed, saying, "Let us break their bands asunder, keep them divided, and cast away their cords from us." And they're not a part of us. We're gonna basically parasite off of them. We're gonna profit off of them.
Yeah.
That's the whole. That's why we under a brass ceiling. No matter, I know I keep blabbering, but no matter what Jake try to do, there's only a certain level you're gonna get to in this society. All right.
Right, and I may build on that because that's a very valid and true statement because you know we're living examples of that. You know, which you know Most High don't want us to do prosper like that as far as like being high up in society.
Being in the world like that. Yeah.
But in general, like you said, it's systematically designed to keep Jake down, man, to keep you in debt, and to keep you in an ignorant state, not knowing how to be self-sufficient, not knowing any skills,
Depending on the government,
depending on the government,
working,
and being a slave, like the elder brother said, being a slave by the way of being locked up and when working for pennies in the prison cell.
One more thing, a couple more things, because no matter what you want to do, you have to go to these nations for the one of all things.
Hey, that's the
You gotta go to Esau to get cut. You gotta go to Esau to get the permits. You building a building, what's that thing where you gotta go, cause they gotta see if the permits and the sites for whatever you doing. They gotta be approved. No matter whether you building an establishment or whatever you do, you gotta operate under his thing. Whether you get in it, you being incorporated or whatever, you gotta, Esau sets the rules. All right, you had the scripture on that, right?
I got you right now. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It says, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee."
Yeah, we're gonna serve our enemies. So it said enemies, so on the so-called white man, known as Esau, Ishmael, Arabs, Elam, East Indians, Ham, the Africans, all right? Japheth, what's them Hawaiians and ones over there in Australia?
Polynesian, Aborigines.
Yeah, and so on. Outside the nation of Israel, we serve our enemies. We work for them, we buy materials from them. We don't have an industry or any of these things to produce all raw materials, so we have to go through these heathens to get anything done.
Absolutely.
So they get the best and wholesale prices on things, and we gotta and we basically we get a small percentage or anything. I'm talking business wise, all right. But these other heathen nations, they get discounted rates. You know what I mean? They get discounted rates. So like Moab, he won't suffer overhead, really. You got it.
And who runs the music industry? The big nose small hats.
Yeah.
The J word. Those devils. In order for you to get a record deal, you gotta go through them. And also yeah, you wanna go get an apartment, you gotta have good credit. Which majority of Israel don't have good credit. And when you go into these Israelite, what you call them ghettos, because the word ghetto means where the Jews dwell, which is the real Jews is who? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You go to the ghettos or you 12 tribes, you don't see Jake owning really nothing of too much, you know. These other nations, who you see in the liquor store, you see Moab, the so-called Chinese, then you see Ishmael, you know, the chicken spots or the delis.
Sand nigga?
Yeah, the sand niggas.
Yeah.
And one more thing,
Right.
you see, and let's break their course from among us, and basically we're divided. So, like this dude, Dr. Claude Anderson, certain things that I agree with what he's saying. We don't have a code of conduct. We're not together. The tribes are broken up. So every person want to do their own thing. These nations, they buy from each other. We the main consumer, and we're not together. So we don't have a code of conduct like, yo, we're gonna go to our own stores. We're gonna go to this because this ain't our rest. We under the curses. So we don't got a code of conduct. So where, yo, I'm gonna just buy my clothes from you. I'm gonna buy my milk from you. I'm gonna buy my meats from you. We're not established.
We ain't got no
Like that,
banks, we ain't got no banks, we ain't got hospitals, we ain't
Yeah,
got
we
schools.
don't have that. And if we did, it would have got bombed.
A lot of these nations live together.
Yeah.
Like they have the whole family living in one house. They'll pay the mortgage, you know, they'll pay whatever. Then they go out and buy all types of cars.
Yeah.
They'll pay it off. They buy another car.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll make it laugh. Whereas we're so blinded, man, because all that shit that Esau feeds to us, yo, at a certain age, you gotta, rich as man, you gotta move, you know. But Esau feeds us division, you know, and only we really, really consume that shit, you know. Whatever Jake see on TV, that's what Jake gonna do, you know. So our people really consume that bullshit, but these other nations, they thinking community-wise. We thinking for ourselves. Like you going into it, bro.
And then and then one more thing, and then in order for us to seem prosperous, we have to show flash. When people that really have it, it'll be subtle flash that you don't see. It might be they might flash with a expensive ass painting or something. Or a watch that don't look worth nothing, but is expensive. But I'm saying, like, our people, we gotta show that,
Jewelry.
you know, we got certain sneakers or footwear and this and that. But
Cars.
yeah, loud things. But brother has something else?
Yeah, I got a piece of
I got something after you quickly.
It says, back in Deuteronomy 20:40, it says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Yep. So we basically we're consumers, and they basically parasited off of us. They licked our wounds, man. These heathen nations. So everyone outside of the nation of Israel, the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Every nation outside of that nation has been parasiting off of us, and you know they got the stores in the community. They don't live in the community. They got the stores in the community, and they exploit us and our women. You know, and our women. You get what I'm saying?
You know, kind of going to that too. Like for instance, you got Kanye West, or excuse me, Ye.
Easy.
His name's Ye now, right?
Oh, shit.
Yay.
Ye. He used to call himself Louis Vuitton Don, but Louis Vuitton's a real person. You know, so it's like you over here selling, man, this nigga shit is selling his shit, and it's not even you, not him.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, he's really Louis Vuitton Don, but here it is.
And don't he have Hennessy and all that? That dude.
I think
owns all that
shit, man. I already don't know,
There's
but
a bunch of stuff.
but-
I'm sorry, y'all.
but no, that's the point. Our people are consuming their shit, man. You know, which you can make your own wine, you can make your own liquor.
But the curses,
Yep.
the out of our nation, I'm talking about out of the men of the truth. People that's in our nation, but outside of the truth, they won't want to see another Jake prosper. You get me? And if another Jake do prosper, you got some of them, they'll look back on you and be like, yo, I did all of this, why you can't? And they'll look down on you when every Israelite situation is different than the other ones. One brother might have, I hate to keep talking, one brother might have ailments. another brother, might, have financial situation. You know, another brother might be in debt. It's different things.
Child support.
Yeah, that racket and the child support thing, man. You know?
You got it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's bring this out. Isaiah 42, verse 22. It says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes."
Yeah, we robbed and spoiled, and snared in holes, man. We in debt. We basically targets because you know you got these banks. They make money, brutality bonds, where these banks will make money off of Jakes being killed. Okay, we robbed and spoiled. All these nations they make money off of us. We get taught we get the poorest quality of educational co-education here, all right. And then if you got so-called bright Jakes, you could get through all of that. But then now you gotta get through Esau system with the hiring thing and all of that. You know, you get me?
That's it?
Okay.
Here's one more. It says, "They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses."
Prison houses. America's one giant prison, and we also in these prison in these prisons, a prison industrial complex, whatever you call it, where they make money off of the inmates in there, and mainly it's Jakes in there, you know, which they're in there because of economic warfare, you know, which Esau instigated.
Right.
And America's a big prison house, and we're also under white supremacy. No matter where we go in the world, we gotta have birth certificates, passports, this and that, and we gotta identify under false names who you are on the job thing. We gotta write, what are you, African American and all this bullshit.
Right. Reading on, it says, "They are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore."
None say restore. Who shall bemoan us? I think that scripture too.
Right.
We're for a prey, and the only one that's gonna restore us is Yahweh Shah. But we're a prey right now. What is a prey? A prey is a weaker animal that's consumed by a more vicious animal, man.
That's
So-
why Yahweh Shai is known as what? The Lion of Judah.
The Lion of
Conquering
Judah,
Lion of Judah.
conquering lion of Judah.
King of
Alright.
the jungle.
That's it?
Huh.
I got something for you right now. Haggai chapter 1, verse 5. Know therefore, thus say the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown so much and bring in so little.
Yeah, that's our people. You know, we'll work or whatever, and then the taxes hit you with this, and then it's like you got a pocket with holes in it. It's like the money just flees from you, all right? It runs from you, and that's Jakes, all right? A person that say, and then Esau he'll put certain certain house niggas in position to show like a glimpse of hope when they was set up in that position. Okay?
Ye have sown much and bring in little.
And bring a little, but I thought they said if you work real hard and you get an education,
And
you
you
get the American dream.
there were 3
You get the
jobs
American debt.
and you still in there.
And debt.
And you know what's crazy? When you in school, they don't teach you trade. They don't teach you
Yeah.
finance. They don't teach you budgeting. None of that stuff, man. They basically feed your ass to the bulls.
A perfect example. Oh, you got
Yeah,
it.
if I may say, because I was, meditating on that earlier, because, a lot of these jobs, when you get to these jobs that are trades, they want you to have a certain level of experience when you actually get there, but like you said, we don't have experience. When you first come to a job site, you don't, like, in the beginning, you don't have experience, so you're expecting to gain that experience through the school or whatever, the trade program, but if they would have taught that in schools, by the time, like if they would have taught trades in middle school and high school, by the time Jake is 21 or 18, You know, they'll be masters in whatever skill they
Yeah.
is involved in.
If they taught early on credit, all right, well, how credit, the forms of credit, you know, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and all of this, if they would have taught all of this when we was younger and hammered it in and said all that bullshit, then you'll already be prepped, you'll already be prepared. And
Exactly.
like you said, the trades. And then they say this is like a circle. Well, you gotta fin a GED or high school diploma first in order to get that. So then by the time you get in that, well, you don't have enough experience. Or you can't do this because you didn't finish high school or got the GED. So it's like a circle that is spinning on and on. And here time is
It's
going.
called a system.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's a pit, yeah.
It says, he eat, but he have not enough.
Yeah, you have not enough. So you use paycheck to paycheck, or why things is just why prices are spiraling out of control, right?
He drink, but it says, he drink, but have not filled.
That's right, and you're not nothing to keep you sustainable in this society, man. Okay, and then the information that's out there, it costs money, and then if you do get the right information, it takes time to study all of that.
And they gotta pay for the car.
You know some people.
None of that.
Yeah, and then let's say you do study financial information. To really be good at it, you might have to be putting in 100 hours a week
Then you
to
gotta
retain
pay.
that information.
Then you gotta pay for the courses. Then
Yeah.
you pay that.
We don't have time. You don't have time for all of that, man. A day seems like 4 or 5 hours.
Exactly.
It says, he called you, but there is none warm. And he that earned wages that he put into a bag.
Bag with holes.
With
It's like you lost the money. That's how fast you gotta spend it. You have this fee, that fee. You get what I'm saying? The price of goods through price shopping, social engineering, all of that stuff is engineered to basically keep Jake messed up.
Oh. That's it.
All right.
Let me see. Yeah.
That
You
was
got
it.
something?
Yeah, man, I was mentioning about this place spiraling out of control, man. What's that scripture when it speaks about the gates, the doors shall be closed in the streets?
Oh, it's Ecclesiastes 12.
Yeah, let's get that real quick, you know, because that's what it's coming to, man. You know, that's good because the hell with all this paying these damn bills and, you know, work your blood pressure behind each other's damn taxes and shit, man. You know, this place gotta go.
I got it. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not."
Remember now your creator, which your creator is the Most High and the Son, right? And how you remember the creator by obeying the Lord's such commandments, man. By getting that understanding.
Oh.
And that's going into the elect. The elect is gonna remember, right? While the evil days come not, right?
Yeah. It says,
The evil days go into the bad times. Basically, the time of Jacob's trouble. Those was evil days. The coming of the Lord. And ultimately, the destruction of this place. This place is going out by fire, away with thermonuclear missiles.
it says, "Nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them."
Yeah, man, you can't be waiting, all right? Because if you that's like this. You call your boy up for a favor, and he don't answer the phone. Then you get the problem solved. Then he calls you the next day, like, "Yo, what happened?" He's like, "Yo, I don't need you no more." All right, that's how the Lord's looking at the nation of Israel, man. The Lord needs to do the works now. Okay, not when everything is done, said and done. You know, right?
It says, "While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain."
And when you see that, you know, the sun and the moon, you know, that's going into the wisdom of this place. Because right now, Esau would say, "Listen, I know everything." You know, Esau would say, "Yo, about the next couple of years, we're gonna have flying cars, or we're gonna have, you know, that thing, that whole agenda implemented. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
You know, what I call it, that you know,
that digital system,
that digital system, right?
we know what that is.
You know,
And that's what show, one thing,
yeah,
that show we know who's ruling right now because we gotta codify what we saying. We gotta talk as if we running a legal drug enterprise or something. That's showing who's running shit for the time being right now. Ultimately, the Most High is running things, but he got his witness stick in control. That's what we gotta clear things up.
yeah, nah, you're on point, bro. And you know, it's like you bring that back out.
It says, while the sun or the moon, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened.
Right, because when all hell break loose, man, a lot of these people, they're gonna run to Esau to answer. They're gonna run to their governments for answer. And guess what? They ain't gonna be none. You call 911, you can get a dial tone. All right, you can get the phones ain't even connected. All right,
Power outages.
yeah, when power outages. All right, you gonna try to find out what's going on. The TV gonna be off.
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna see your president go to his underground bunker, whatever the hell he or she, you know, because nowadays they might could be president, because we know why America's a joke. First of all, you're supposed to have a woman over a man. All right, you allowing women to run for president.
Yeah, and I may say too, are they showing you a preview of that? What's going on in Sri Lanka?
Yeah,
You know, they protesting against, and I'm not just talking about marching and throwing up signs, you know, they overthrowing the government, man, because they over there, throwing their cars into the rivers and stuff like that, destroying the government officials' cars and stuff like that. So they going hard over there, man.
yeah.
A sedition among them.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Read on.
And that's a prelude. You got it, bro.
All right, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble.
That's right, the keepers of the house shall tremble. Who the keepers, man? What house? The house is going into this kingdom, to this system. All right, the keepers is who? Starting with the elite bankers. All right, the national bankers, the one pushing for that whole agenda. All right, for that whole digital system to come to pass. They pushing for it, man. But guess what? It's gonna happen for so little. Because when you read in Job, it says, you know, when the measures are filled, right?
Right. It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Area, the strong men shall bow themselves, you know, all, everybody, tough guys, whether might be financially, all right, might have guns, whatever the situation is, man. All right, you gonna bow yourself in those days, man. In those days, a man's gonna be, you know, on the level of a woman. If you're a man of the Lord.
Right. It says, and those that look out of the window,
Start reading the part again. I missed the part.
it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease because they are few.
That's what we're coming upon right now. All right, and we see the grind is starting to cease. All right, businesses shutting down. Now they're saying if there's a shortage on gas, then guess what? Those trucks ain't gonna be able to go make those deliveries that the brothers were just going into.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the grinding ceasing, man.
Right. Right, it says, and those that look out of the windows be darkened.
Going into the future of this place. All right, because the future is supposed to be bright. You know, leave it to E. All right, it's in your thoughts that his kingdom shall continue forever. Right, leave it to E. You know, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. All right, and you got our people, so-called Negroes, Latino Native Americans, that believe every word this man says, and they'll look at E like, all right, okay, Let me go to work. I go to work, wake up early, and save my coins not to buy me a house. This place is out of here, man.
Yeah. That show you have to have faith in the Lord. You have Hashem Yahushua. Because Esau system, his shit is not foolproof. It's designed to just collapse.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to have blind faith. And I hate to steal this from I used to watch Prison Break, right?
Yeah, I watched that.
So what's his name? Michael Scofield was a think tank. He was
Yeah.
brilliant, engineered all that, structural.
Yeah.
Even he had to say, with all advanced planning, it gotta be a little faith. It has to be faith in there.
When we said
You
that.
can't. You can just plan for so much.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You know, cause we gotta have faith in the Lord, man.
Yeah.
We can't do this on our own because this whole system will collapse. When, I don't know. You know they have bullshit collapse and then,
Yeah.
but pretty soon they go pull the plug.
Oh,
We don't know what they, you know.
Yeah.
I have something too on your.
You know, It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
So yeah, it's like brother. Last part on time.
Right. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets.
Right, and going into the businesses. All right, you go to you go down to certain strips. You gonna see the gates closed. What's that?
So, you got it.
Oh, you gonna see gates closed. All right, businesses shut down. Even from this last plan, you know, this whole lockdown they had in the past, a lot of businesses didn't pop back up, man. You know, I used to go to this restaurant called Delmonico's, and guess what, man? They ain't make it. All right, they ain't make it.
well,
They locked up. Okay, they locked down.
I hate to keep saying this, but okay, in Far Rockaway, right? It's this hospital named Peninsula, right?
Yeah,
You have one of the big nose with the hats. You know, black hats.
yeah,
They was on the board. So the dude was skimming and mishandling the funds, you know,
yeah, yeah.
on that, and then the hospital went under. And so when it went under, you could see the maintenance, everything shut down, but the building was there. You see the grass growing throughout, the roots and all that, and you see it just looked like a third world country. Eventually demoed this shit. But the stubborn kite that was on there, he also linked to Kings County and Jamaica Hospital. So I don't know. But the thing is, yeah, you're gonna have the doors, remember, what's that joint with, Will Smith?
I Am Legend?
I Am Legend. Yeah.
I Am Legend. You see how it looked when it was deserted, the properties?
Yeah,
That's what's gonna be out here.
It says, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird,
Mhm.
and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
All the doors and music have been brought low, and the music nowadays is terrible, man. All right, rap, singing, whatever it is, it's terrible. First of all, they're rapping about wickedness, singing about wickedness, adultery. All right, singing about drugs, murdering. All right, the people rapping, especially this new generation of rappers. It's fucking it's really madness. All right, and it's it pushes out violence. You know, and a lot of these people dying, dropping dead, or having illness. Like this dude Justin Bieber, half his face went
stroke, stroke.
he even had a stroke. You know, but half his face don't really work. You know, it's really numb. So these daughters of music, they you know, the voice is going low, man, on many levels.
So creativity is no creativity
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah.
Whenever you brothers, I have another scripture for you.
That's last one.
No,
Oh, that was the last one?
No,
This
we
one?
got that, yeah.
Okay. This is Job, because you mentioned this some minutes back. Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
That's Esau, the white man. In the fullest of his sufficiency, All right, when is Esau gonna be satisfied? When he has everything under his control. All right, his whole agenda has came to pass. All right, his NWO, which is going to consist of that MO. You know the rest.
Mhm.
All right. So when he has when he's finally done it, you've done it. You finally done it. Like on Planet of the Apes, you know, going.
Well, what's they say?
Yeah.
We read up the digits.
Yeah. Yep.
Horses don't stop, they keep going.
Yep.
Alright, Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast a
Yeah,
fury.
you have to enjoy your accomplishments. You know, because if you had something, if you never had it, if you never had it, then there's no gain, no loss. But to have it and then lose it, it's even worse, man. You know, you kick yourself in the ass the whole way through. Right.
When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
And that's going into that destruction. All right, while he is eating, while he's enjoying his accomplishments, the Lord's gonna have this place be destroyed with thermonuclear missiles, man. So the Lord's gonna throw Esau for a curveball.
It's a little more, I could stop, but it's a little. Verse 24.
Yeah.
He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through.
That iron weapon, that bow of steel, that's going into those thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, and Esau's gonna flee. So you got the underground bunkers. All right, you got space shuttles. All right, and he's gonna try to flee from those iron weapons. Which, you know, few of them is gonna make it. The one that's deemed for slavery, the first fruits of slavery. But for the most part, a lot of these people ain't gonna escape that nuclear blast. No matter if you on the ground or in the air.
Mhm.
That's no good to you, right?
Verse 25.
Okay.
It is drawn and cometh out of the body.
It is drawn and comes out of the body, because when you look into it, that body, that's the silos, man. All right, they got the silos, then they got the defense system. All right, but those missiles come out of the silos. You might have the silos on the sea or on the ground, right? It is drawn and come out of the body. That's the missile coming out the silos, right?
Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him.
Right, that glittering sword, man. I mean, Esau see it, man. His jaw won't drop. He ain't gonna believe it. You know, like if you playing chess, right? And you busting this dude's ass, and you castle, and you leave those 3 pawns there to guard your king. Those 3 pawns could be the death of you. All right, because you be busting that dude's ass, but if he takes his rook and comes down the boat, that's checkmate, and you ain't never see it coming, because your eyes are so your eyes are looking at what you doing. You know, that's exactly what the Lord's gonna do to this man. All right, you try to play chess. Esau, you a rookie. You try to play chess with the Most High. That'll be a grand master.
The Most High, the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they playing an elevated game of chess.
He could.
You know, an
Yeah.
elevated game.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple boards.
Multiple boards. You just
Boards, right?
you'll play on the table, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then the Lord be the teacher, with playing all the different kids with the chessboard, walking back and forth. In other words, Esau, you don't got a chance, man. You don't got a chance. You're in a trick bag.
Verse 26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is.
And it's like that fire not blown, that's going into those roots, man. Alright? That destroying wind shall consume him. That's how his place is going to be destroyed. Like that movie T2. Alright? So you can finish it up, you know, the last verse or whatever.
I'll just finish it with this one.
Okay.
All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle.
Yeah, if you want to speak on that.
All right. A darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. That's nuclear fire. That fire not blown shall consume them. It shall end concentrated fire from the chariots. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle, his house. Okay? America is done. It's going to be incinerated, man.
That's right.
All right? That's it. America's out of here. It's just enjoy the last moments of your kingdom, man. That's it.
That's it. That's your future. So with that, we're gonna say once again, all praise goes to Yahweh.
Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, HaKadosh.
Logo brothers edified. And with that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. I got his head.